Good Monday evening and welcome to the NCWLIFE Evening News. I'm Grant Olson. Before we get to today's top news stories, let's take a quick look outside that weather window. And after kind of a cool and breezy Easter weekend, today things very nice as we look towards the upper valley and seeing some high clouds out there, but we did see plenty of sunshine too. Temperatures got back to about normal today after temperatures in the 50s throughout the weekend. And I hope you had a great Easter weekend, by the way. But I'll tell you what, we are in the midst of the beginning of a nice warming trend that will begin tomorrow. We'll see temperatures jumping up into the upper 60s and lower 70s throughout north central Washington. Not a lot of wind either as we get into Tuesday. And then a storm system will make its way through extreme eastern Washington, which will bring us a few more clouds. We won't see any wet stuff out of that, but it will keep us in the mid 60s. And I'll tell you what, folks, beyond that, once again, temperatures in the mid to upper 70s. And we'll talk more weather coming up a little bit later on. And now a few of the stories we're following for you tonight. State Department of Natural Resources firefighters spent the day attacking the Alpenhof Fire. That's the 5-acre blaze off Icicle Road outside Leavenworth. A flatbed trailer rolled on Interstate 90 this morning near Moses Lake. That temporarily blocked both lanes of westbound traffic. The Chelan County Sheriff's Office is warning residents to watch their mailboxes carefully after a string of mail thefts throughout the county that have been going on for more than a month. And 7 vehicles were involved in crashes on Interstate 90 Saturday after a dust storm swirled in, cutting visibility to almost zero. But first we begin tonight. 2 more deaths from COVID-19 were reported in Chelan County over the weekend. Details on those deaths is not immediately available, but it brought the county's total virus-related deaths now to 5. Chelan County's total positive cases rose from 45 to 55, while Douglas County went up from 12 to 16 with no deaths. Grant County, meanwhile, added 20 new positive cases to its total since Friday, bringing that county's total to 120 with 2 deaths. Washington State now has 10,411 positive cases and 508 deaths. King County accounts for 1,798 of those positive tests and 68 deaths. Also, I want to mention that in the announcement this morning, the city of East Wenatchee has announced the cancellation of the popular Classy Chassis Parade and Car Show. That was scheduled for May 1st and 2nd. The city says it will now focus on the Wings and Wheels Festival, which is scheduled for October 2nd and 3rd. So, another victim of COVID-19. State Department of Natural Resources firefighters spent the day attacking the Alpenhof Fire, a 5-acre blaze off Icicle Road outside Leavenworth. The fire caught Sunday afternoon near some residences about 3 miles southwest of downtown, but so far poses no threat to private property. The DNR took over Sunday evening from local fire districts and used hand crews and helicopters to control the fire, which was burning up a steep slope toward Icicle Ridge. Its cause is not yet known. In other news, a flatbed trailer rolled on Interstate 90 this morning near Moses Lake, temporarily blocking both lanes of westbound traffic. The Washington State Patrol said there were no injuries, but the materials the semi was hauling required an extensive cleanup effort. The flatbed rolled shortly after 9 a.m. about 2 miles east of Moses Lake, and one lane of traffic was reopened within an hour. The Chelan County Sheriff's Office is warning residents to watch their mailboxes carefully after a string of mail thefts throughout the county that have been going on for more than a month now. Over the weekend, deputies found discarded pieces of stolen mail, and the Sheriff's Office is worried that federal stimulus checks being mailed could get worse. Jason Reinfeld, Chief of Special Operations, said everyone should be taking extra care.
Arrests made at this time. We don't have suspect information. We're definitely looking for some help from the public on this. What happened over the weekend is a couple different people located just some bundles of mail in some remote locations around Kashmir. It looks like somebody'd gone through mail from several different locations, and they dumped what they didn't want. That mail that was located has been returned to the post office for redelivery. But we could definitely use help from the public if you see any suspicious activity around mailboxes, people that shouldn't be around the mailbox you don't recognize, give a call as a suspicious type of incident, and deputies will come check on it. As a preventative measure, we definitely recommend that you check your mail frequently, especially if you don't have a locking mailbox. If you know you have a package coming, either try to get a neighbor to help you pick it up if they see it on your porch, or try to be there when it arrives. And of course, the best solution is if you can get with your neighborhood and try to put in some locking mailboxes.
Also tonight, 7 vehicles were involved in crashes on Interstate 90 Saturday after a dust storm swirled in, cutting visibility to almost zero. The accidents were about 4 p.m., 7 miles west of Ritzville, and led the temporary closure of the I-90 eastbound lanes. The Washington State Patrol says luckily there were no serious injuries. Well, coming up next, Douglas commissioners wanted to restart home building there, but Governor Jay Inslee's office says they've misinterpreted his emergency rules on COVID-19. A local restaurant owner who challenged the coronavirus shutdown had his moment of fame on Dr. Phil last week. Tonight's COVID-19 public service announcement will feature the owner of the rail station. And both sales and listings are up in the Wenatchee real estate market in March, despite the economy suffering because of the COVID-19 pandemic. I'm Grant Olson, and you're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News.
Owner Andrew Vickery brings years of experience to help you transition your backyard into a place where memories are made, family time is looked forward to, and friends are always welcome. Blue Lagoon Pool and Spa offers many different styles and sizes of artesian spas, both new and used, as well as residential and commercial pool and spa services, regular maintenance and repairs, and all the chemicals required to keep your pool and spa crystal clear. Stop on by Blue Lagoon Pool and Spa today.
I'm Tom from Alpine Air Heating and Cooling. At Alpine Air, we think of ourselves as customer service-oriented retailers. When you make an appointment, please visit our store, meet our people, see our shop. We are serious about heating and air conditioning. Carrier and Alpine Air are offering huge factory rebates and financing options for all your needs. Turn to the experts at Carrier and Alpine Air. Call for your free replacement estimate. Heat and air, call Alpine Air, 662-6846.
You want to help others. You need a solid career. You can have both with help from Charter College. Our 10-month medical assistant program prepares you to work in healthcare settings like physician offices, rehab centers, and clinics. You'll learn to take vitals, assist with exams, administer injections, and maintain records. When you're ready to launch a rewarding healthcare career, stop by our campus at 595 Grant Road across from Safeway, or visit chartercollege.edu.
Welcome back. In another news, Douglas commissioners want to restart home building there, but Governor Jay Inslee's office says they've misinterpreted his emergency rules on COVID-19. Last Wednesday, the commissioners passed a proclamation that would allow new home construction to proceed, despite the governor's order that it shuts it down statewide as a non-essential business. Inslee's spokesman told NCWLIFE the commissioners have misinterpreted the governor's order and their proclamation does not supersede state law. The commissioners plan to review and perhaps even withdraw the proclamation in meetings later this week. Well, a local restaurant owner who challenged the coronavirus shutdown had his moment of fame on Dr. Phil last week. Sean Smith of the Walkabout Grill appeared Thursday to talk about Washington's shutdown of gathering places to show the spread of coronavirus. Smith publicly resisted Governor Jay Inslee's order, but later said he'd comply. He told show host Dr. Phil McGraw he doesn't think Inslee needed to close Eastern Washington businesses at the same time as those in King County, and called the emergency order, quote, a real slap in the face to entrepreneurs and small businesses in our area, unquote. You can view the entire 4-minute interview at drville.com. Well, NCWLIFE is producing a series of public announcements from people in our communities regarding COVID-19. Tonight, we feature the owner of the rail station in Wenatchee, Todd Mills.
Hi, my name is Todd Mill with the rail station and ale house in Wenatchee. During this time of the coronavirus pandemic, we're urging you to stay home, stay healthy, and stay safe. As an essential business during this crisis, we're doing our best to serve meals to the children in this community for free to make sure that nobody goes hungry. When this crisis passes and it's safe to do so, we hope you'll come down and join us at the rail station and ale house. But until then, stay home, stay healthy, stay safe. Thank you.
Both sales and listings are up in the Wenatchee real estate market in March, despite the economy suffering because of the COVID-19 pandemic. That's the latest findings from Pacific Appraisal Associates in Wenatchee. Total home sales were up 3% at 72 last month compared to 70 same time last year. Closed home sales are up a whopping 19% compared to last year. Active home listings last month stood at 132. That's an incredible increase of 45% compared to March of 2019, where active listings was at 91. Little change in the median sales price of a home in the Wenatchee market, though, which last month was at $335,000. That's compared to $336,500 in March of 2019. You're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News. Coming up next, tonight's feature story and your complete local weather forecast. That and much more still to come on the NCWLIFE Evening News. Stay with us.
Aging and Adult Care offers many in-home care options and services for seniors and family caregivers. But did you know they also offer free in-home delivered meals? Aging and Adult Care has expanded its program for home-delivered meals to help elderly and vulnerable adults at this challenging time. If you are in need of prepared meals or know someone who could benefit, call Aging and Adult Care for more information about free home-delivered meals. Call 509-886-0700.
Coming home should never be a chore. Let Merry Maids of Wenatchee customize all your cleaning needs. Weekly, bi-weekly, special occasion. Do you have a vacation home that needs cleaning? We clean them too. Locally owned and operated, let Merry Maids do the cleaning while you focus on your family and friends. Merry Maids has special offers to fit your budget. Request your free cleaning estimate today. 509-663-1710.
Introducing the most capable Sierra lineup ever.
Welcome back to the NCWLIFE Evening News. Link Transit, the bus system that serves the entire Wenatchee Valley, is in line for $7 million in coronavirus relief from the federal government. But in the meantime, it's had to make some tough decisions. In tonight's features story, Link Transit Director Richard DeRock talked with NCWLIFE's Jefferson Robbins.
Ridership's been devastated. Our ridership is down about 80% from where it was prior to the outbreak, which, since we have stay at home and spatial distancing requirements, that's probably where it should be. Lately, we're about 1,200 trips a day on the system. We've cut service about 40% from where we had been operating for two reasons. One is with the drop in ridership, it didn't make any sense to have the frequency we had previously. So we cut down frequency. We did not cut off access to any of the communities. A lot of people don't sort of think about that, but the people who serve food at the nursing homes or people that sweep the floors and kitchens at the hospitals, a lot of those folks use us to get to and from work, as well as the food processing facilities. And we're their transportation. And since those are all critical access positions, they still need to get to and from work. And so that's what we're here for. We've actually started an advertising campaign to say that's what we're for. Don't use us if that's not what you're using us for. We're essential transportation. We've gone to social distancing on the vehicles. We stopped collecting fares over a month ago, not to encourage ridership, but to keep people away from the drivers. We don't want to keep the spacing, and the fare boxes, of course, are close to the driver. Plus, based on talking to other transit systems in the country, we were reminded that the counting of fares, the way those machines work, throws all sorts of stuff up in the air, and it really is a pretty dangerous thing for the people who have to deal with the money. And so most of the systems in the United States right now are not collecting fares for that reason. It's just a risk that's not appropriate for people to deal with. And of course, the economy is being impacted, so the revenues are not coming in on the backside in terms of the sales tax. So those are significant impacts. The positive side on that is Congress recognized the problem, and it's a much bigger problem in the large urban areas, and they put together as part of this last package, the CARES package, a relief program for transit, and our share of that should provide us enough resources to keep the system going and make up shortfalls for at least 8 to 9 months to allow the community to get back on its feet. Yes, the economy can come back, and if we're prudent, we should not have to be pruning the system or reducing services to the community. We should be able to regrow it as the demand starts cropping back and still deliver the expansion that we had promised the community as we can get the system back up and operating.
Time now for a check of your North Central Washington weather forecast. And as I mentioned at the top of the newscast, hope you all had a great Easter weekend. It was a little bit cooler than we'd like to see, with temperatures mainly in the mid to upper 50s. Plenty of wind on Saturday too, not as bad yesterday. And then we get today, a beautiful start to this work week post-Easter, looking down at the Wenatchee Valley. A few high clouds out there today, and that did keep our temperature down once again. We were just slightly below where we should be today. 61 unofficially, 62 now is our normal high temperature in North Central Washington, well, at least at Pangbourne Airport. Low temperature this morning, it was a cool one. A little bit of frost on those windows this morning on their cars out there. 40 is where we should be, so about 10 degrees cooler than normal for our low temperature. Record high 1988. It was a beautiful 79 degrees. Record low was 28 degrees. We were almost there, and that was in 1981. Sunrise this morning 6:15, and the sun will set tonight for us at 7:48. Let's take a peek at how your Tuesday is going to shape up, and we will see the beginning of a warming trend as we get into Tuesday. But let's talk about this first. This is what we're seeing from the Weather Service. They released this over the weekend, and this is a drought, folks. We are in the midst of a drought here in North Central Washington. Look from Omak all the way down into Yakima, this red and even darker red area. We're in severe drought categories here in these cities, Yakima, Wenatchee, Chelan, and Omak. 25% of normal in this dark red area, and that includes Yakima. Wenatchee, 3.33 inches of precipitation going back to October 1st, and that isn't much. In fact, that's the third driest that we've seen on record here in the Wenatchee area. And boy, as we move along in weather, we're not going to see much relief from this drought. It's going to stay dry out there, so expect just nice weather, but we're going to need some moisture here down the road. Chelan, you're in that category, as well as Omak as well, so hopefully we will see some storm systems move in, but it's not going to be in the near future, folks. Taking a look at tomorrow, we will see temperatures warming up all across North Central Washington. We mentioned low 60s today. We're going to be more in the middle to upper 60s tomorrow. 70 even for Moses Lake. Upper 60s, Quincy and Ephrata. Wenatchee 68. Ellensburg more in the middle 60s at 66 degrees. And that's pretty much where we'll be all the way up the Highway 97 corridor into Omak, where the highs up there will be in the mid to upper 60s. Surface loop time now, and tonight we'll expect mostly clear skies, calm wind conditions out there tonight, and very mild overnight. High pressure, it's still in control of our weather, and it's going to drag some nice Pacific air in, and that's going to warm us up as we make our way through the work week, as I mentioned, beginning tomorrow. And tomorrow we can expect mostly sunny skies, a light breeze, a little bit warmer too. Notice though, these isobars are getting a little bit closer together, so that could make for a breezy Tuesday night and into Wednesday. In fact, we will see a breezy Wednesday with northwest winds about 10 to 15 miles an hour. We will stay mild with highs in the mid 60s. There's that big, beautiful ridge of high pressure, and it's well up into British Columbia, bringing almost all of the Pacific Northwest at least. Some nice weather, stormy conditions into the Rockies, moving that way. By Thursday, sunny skies. In fact, we'll hardly see a cloud in the sky here in Washington State on Thursday. It will be mild with high temperatures then in the upper 60s to near 70. Even better than that as we get into the end of the week on Friday. There is an area of low pressure off the coast. Really not going to affect us that much. Most of central and eastern Washington, we will all be around 70 to 75 degrees. On Saturday, a few more clouds nose their way into central Washington across the Cascades. We'll call it partly cloudy, but still awfully nice out there with temperatures mainly in the lower 70s for Saturday. We'll stay in the lower 70s for Sunday as we end the weekend as well. Unseasonably warm weather all through our work week and into the weekend. But as I mentioned, it's awfully dry out there, and we'll see if we have rain past this upcoming weekend. Let's take a look now at your Patriot Plumbing, Heating and Cooling 7-day forecast. 41 overnight tonight, so that's a whole 11 degrees above where we were this morning for a low temperature. 68 Tuesday and sunshine, more sunshine for Wednesday. A little bit breezy, remember that on Wednesday too at 66 degrees. And then the warm up begins in earnest on Thursday, 68 then, 72 as we end the work week on Friday. And folks, look at that weekend. Partly cloudy on Saturday and Sunday with high temperatures then in the lower 70s. And that's a look at your local weather forecast. Coming up next, tonight's sports report with Eric Granstrom and more as the NCWLIFE Evening News continues right after this.
AC Checker has new owners who put customer service first. When you have to get there on time, call fast, friendly, reliable AC Checker, 663-TAXI. AC Checker has the industry's only on-time or it's free guarantee. Conditions apply. Call AC Checker, 663-TAXI to schedule your cab or schedule online at acchecker.com. Call American Classic Taxi, 663-TAXI. That's 663-8294.
It's estimated that 1/3 of Americans do not have a financial plan. At D.A. Davidson, their advisors are working to change that because they understand the importance of planning for the future. At D.A. Davidson, they believe in partnering together to build a strategy tailored to your needs. They spend the time and have the knowledge to help keep your financial future on track. Let D.A. Davidson Financial Advisors of Wenatchee put the strength of advice to work for you.
And now it's a sports update on the NCWLIFE channel.
And a happy Monday to you. Staying home and staying healthy. I'm Eric Grandstrom on the NCWLIFE channel. Some sad sports news to pass along to start today. Former Seahawks quarterback Tavares Jackson was killed in a one-vehicle accident last night near his home in Alabama. A state trooper, Michael Carswell, told the Montgomery Advertiser that Jackson was the only person in a 2012 Chevrolet Camaro that left the roadway, struck a tree, and overturned. The crash occurred about 7 miles south of Jackson's hometown of Montgomery, Alabama. Tavares Jackson was drafted in the second round by the Vikings, where he spent 3 seasons before signing with Seattle. He was traded to Buffalo in 2012 before coming back one more time to back up Russell Wilson with the Seahawks during their Super Bowl run in 2013. Most recently, Jackson had been the quarterback's coach at Tennessee State. His former teammates and coaches went to Twitter offering condolences. Russell Wilson said, quote, "T-Jack, you will be missed. Praying for your family. Love you, man." Pete Carroll said Tavares Jackson was a beloved teammate, competitor, and Seahawk. He will be deeply missed. So heartbroken by the news of his passing and sending our condolences to his family and friends. As Jackson is survived by his wife, Lakita, and 3 children, Tavares, Tequila, and Tyson. He was 36 years old. Well, on the field, the Seahawks have re-signed their backup quarterback and special teams captain, Nico Thorpe. According to reports, the agreement is for 1 year and $1 million with a $100,000 signing bonus. Thorpe, according to Coach Pete Carroll, that is, has been, quote, the spirit of special teams for a number of years now, and it's great that guys recognize him again. He's got a great presence in our room and with our guys, end quote. Well, while there's a local concerted effort to help flatten the curve of the COVID-19 pandemic, there's still further restrictions that could be put in place, one of which is the possible closures of trails around the Wenatchee Valley. That's where Wenatchee Valley TREAD comes in. TREAD stands for Trails, Recreation, Education, Advocacy, and Development, and is an organization that was formed back in 2017 to help promote and plan for the future of our trail and recreation systems in the valley. Members of TREAD came out with a video for trail users and recreationists.
Here in Chelan and Douglas counties, we're pretty fortunate to have some amazing recreational opportunities.
From the riverfront trail system
to Sage Hills and Saddle Rock, Ski Hill, Echo Ridge,
and countless other opportunities, there's many ways to get out there and recreate.
So here's the catch. Given the COVID-19 outbreak, we are seriously at risk for losing access to these places.
Many land managers are considering closing down even more trails to help slow the spread of the virus.
On behalf of Tread,
Fellow,
Evergreen,
and Run Wenatchee,
we're asking you, all of our membership, all trail users, and especially the new friends that we have on the trails at this time,
follow a few simple rules while you're out there recreating.
Maintain at least 6 feet from each other on the trails, at trailheads, and when passing.
if the trailhead is full, find someplace else to park. In fact, do your best not to park at the trailhead at all.
pack it in and pack it out. This has not changed, and it's always been the rule. Please keep litter and other garbage out of our trail systems.
Please do not use closed roads.
Check with the land manager website before you head out to make sure where you're going is actually open.
And remember, please keep dogs on a leash so they don't chase wildlife, people, or other dogs.
These are challenging times, and like many of you, we want to keep our trails open so we can stay physically and mentally healthy.
We all can do our part to keep these trails open.
Thank you, and happy trails.
While officials understand the need for recreation and exercise, social distancing challenges at trailheads and congested areas could force their hand in closing some popular locations. Tread hopes that users can follow these simple recommendations so we can all continue to enjoy our trail systems in the area. Well, the closure of schools for the rest of the year has deleted the spring sports season for high schools and ruined many of our broadcast plans here on the NCWLIFE channel, honestly. So we're going back through the archives of past broadcasts as we start this week. NCWLIFE Sports presents the best of. Since 2016, I was going through the numbers. This is hard to believe. NCWLIFE has produced 430 sports broadcasts. That's 160 Wenatchee Wild games, 270 high school games, and Wenatchee Valley Rams games. We'll begin our look back tomorrow night at 7 o'clock with a volleyball match between Wenatchee and Eastmont. This is back from October 2016. I was courtside along with Leanne Branham. This was a classic for sure at Eastmont High School. Again, that's tomorrow night at 7 o'clock. Thursday's hockey nights, as we'll bring you the tilt between Wenatchee and Cowichan Valley from this past January. Art Checker has the play-by-play at 7 o'clock. Then on Friday, we're turning back the clocks to October of 2016 for the Bridge of Sportsmanship between Wenatchee and Eastmont at Wildcat Stadium. I'm alongside Grant Olson for this football play-by-play. That starts Friday night at 7. Saturday's first game of our doubleheader goes back to 2017 when the Wenatchee girls soccer team hosted West Valley for the Big Nine Soccer Championship. Sebastian Moraga and Matt Wisen have the call at 2 o'clock. Then at 7, we're going back to July of 2016 for the Wenatchee Valley Rams and Tri-City Rage in playoff football. Steve Oak has the call of the battle in Western Washington Football Alliance play from Lee Bofto Field at the Apple Bowl. So we hope you enjoy NCWLIFE Sports presents the best of starting this week here on the NCWLIFE channel. That's Sports News. I'm Eric Grandstrom. Grant, back to you.
Thank you, Eric, and we'll be watching. Now let's check in with Dan Kuntz for a look at what's coming up tomorrow morning on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Dan?
Thank you very much, Grant. I invite you to join us on Tuesday, tomorrow morning, for another edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. We'll get going live at 7 a.m. from this very studio. We'll have your latest forecast. We will have news. We will have sports, whatever sports Eric can cobble together. Everything you're used to, the obscure holiday. We got some celebrity birthdays to pass along, plus today in history. Mike McNally will have an opinion. I might even have an interview for you tomorrow. Social distancing can only go so far. Join me tomorrow at 7 a.m. for Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Grant, back to you.
Thank you, Dan. And that's going to do it for our newscast tonight. For more on these stories and other news from around North Central Washington, you can find us on Facebook or our website at ncwlife.com. And remember, if you see news happening, we'd like to hear from you. You can send us an email at news@ncwlife.com or give us a call at 888-6295. I'm Grant Olson. Thanks for joining us. Have a great night. For all the latest news in North Central Washington, go to ncwlife.com or find us on Facebook. Got a news tip? Email us at news@ncwlife.com or call 888-2020.